Hello, we're just gonna be. I don't know exactly anything to specifically do. I was thinking. I can't decide between the pun. Between doing a warble round and, what was it again? Maybe this platoon? I don't know. So, we're just gonna play a random game and see what happens. No, we just have to wait. Okay, Vietnam. Interesting. This is the ep2 saber. Love it. It's not as damaging as the regular ep2, but the extra pen more than makes up for it. Hello. Oh, it's an up tier. That's not good. So it's an up tier, so we don't want to be normally in a down tier, which I seem to get a lot of. If you're just gonna push me, then I'm not gonna move. If you don't know, pushing something like a heavy tank does not help them move faster. All it does is make it harder for them to aim. So just don't do it. Especially here as someone who doesn't mind this speed, which is kind of ironic because I am not the biggest fan of the Doom Turtle speed. That thing is freaking slow. But as I was saying, this isn't normally in a down tier. I would be a lot more bold and brave in a mouse, but since this is an up tier, we want to be more careful. And that's exactly why. Never mind, I just got outmaneuvered. Okay, get to play the term 3. Let's go. This thing has great gun depression. I love it. I like this thing. It doesn't have a good armor, but at top tier, I don't even bother with armor. I know it's kind of useless and I'm top tier because of the rounds having so much penetration. And that really, you don't even think about using the armor unless it's on a specific time. And I'm going to die. Okay, let's not do that again. No, we'll go back to B.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
I said I wouldn't rely on my armor, and guess what I did anyway. I think you could probably tell I'm not someone who plays these lightly armored vehicles. Like, I mean, even a Leopard 1, I don't know, could somehow sometimes bounce a shot. I don't know, maybe it's because of the, singularities they built into this thing's armor. Or that, they somehow did. So this is a whole round. Actually, if they pop up, which is not a good idea. They fired. So if you put fucking smoke... Well, if you put fucking smoke down, dumbass, then I can't help you. You know what? We're leaving. If you don't know, if you're not do not put smoke down unless you're retreating. Because if you're repairing while you're not moving, you can't move. Smoke is just gonna make it easy. The enemy just basically is still gonna know you're in there, and they'll just machine gun you until they find you. And it blinds your team, so your teammates can't help you. Alright, it's a down tier. That's good. But yeah, do not use smoke unless you're retreating or moving positions. Because if you're not, all you're doing is making it easier for the enemy to shoot you and making it harder for your teammates to fight back and potentially save you. Okay, well, okay, at least the team's already capturing the 8 point. Seems to be a huge problem I have with teammates lately. I don't know what happened. Sometimes they're so good, and then sometimes they're just shit. I don't know why. Most of the time they're shit. And I don't know why. My best games are normally in, like, down tier, so why am I constantly clicking, trying to zoom in? What am I doing? Okay, he's using smoke. Okay, he put down smoke, but that's in a situation, but he's trying to retreat, so that's one where I would use it too. Is he using defensive smoke, or is he just spamming the smoke button? That's another thing. You can put down one thing of smoke so you can retreat, but don't spam the button, please. Okay, T-54. IS-2, not too much of a threat. Wait, we can hit him with the 75? Yes, we can. I thought the Hori was well protected. I didn't know we could do that. So he's an IS-2, so he can't pin my turret. There is stuff coming over there, which it's scary because I could have been. Okay, thank you for getting out of the way now. Ricochet. Now, if you're wondering, yes, this shell was real. The Germans were testing this type of shell, morely to increase penetration. It was less about increasing penetration and more about actually increasing velocity, so they could use their guns at longer range. Though it did have 2 problems. It was inaccurate. I don't know why it was inaccurate. Maybe because it was an early APDS, as when the mouse was being prototyped and designed in 1944. Or APDS had only really just started showing up. Even though countries like Britain were testing and doing things with APDS since 1941. It only really started to be used in 1944, however. So that inaccuracy may just be because of it being an early Sabo. But it also had a shattering problem, because Sabos have these denser cores surrounded by a wrap or Sabo to fit into the gun, since it is subcaliber. And while yes, that is exactly what we're doing here, I think the problem may not lie in the fact that it's because it's an APHE, but because they didn't use a regular core. Like, they didn't just hollow out take a Sabo core and then fit explosive filler into it. They took a regular 88mm shell and then wrapped it with Sabo to fit into the 128, which of course that's going to cause problems. Something like that. That shell's for a regular gun, for a regular 88, which is going to have a much slower velocity than a 128 with Sabo would. Which is probably why the shell shattered, because it just couldn't handle it. Because it just couldn't handle the force of slamming into an enemy tank at such a high velocity. But I feel like if they probably used a proper core. Alright, that's it with the mass. But if they had actually used a regular core for APH, for Sabo, so a denser core, or that APDS would use, instead of something like tungsten carbine, like on composite rigid Sabo, which is just the earliest one. But the only difference between APCR and APDS is that APDS discards the Sabo. And APFSDS is just a longer APDS with a stabilizer on the back of it. And then of course I'm not an authority figure, so I don't know if this would actually be true. But since it only fit the 108 grams, I feel like if they had made it a regular, took the already existing Sting Pound PZGR shell, but made it out of a denser material that you would probably use in Sabo, it may have actually worked. It may have actually worked. That's a case for the other teammates, though. Whenever I want them to cap, they're too busy spawn camping. But when I want them to be spawn camping, they're nowhere. They're too busy twiddling their thumbs. I don't know. But it is an interesting shell, and I wonder. And there probably would have been ways to fix it. I feel like I think if they had used the denser core material in place of the regular steel for the APHE shell from the 88, that shattering problem would have been helped. And of course, still would have evolved over time as Sabos got better and better. And then I don't know what would happen with the accuracy problem. Really, it's just, in real life, it wasn't real, it had some flaws. While it did indeed do what the Germans wanted it to, they were held back by the fact it didn't really do what they want. It was inaccurate. But if it acted like it does in War Thunder, I would say that it would have worked. That it would have been a very, very good shell. Even if it not being a full 128 APHE, it wouldn't work. Would mean it wouldn't do as much damage because of it being APHE. Of course, APHE still does that, what you come to expect from War Thunder, at least older War Thunder. Here, where solid shot gives you more penetration, APHE gives you less penetration but more damage. Though that doesn't mean it nukes an enemy crew. Of course, it doesn't, because it doesn't. Because you've probably heard by now, it doesn't explode in a sphere; it explodes in a cone. So while the solid shot may fragment itself, well, APHE would outright destroy the shell, giving an extra layer of shrapnel on top of the spall from the penetration, which is the large APHE is so deadly because since the explosive filler is, I'm pretty sure, at the back of the shell, it means that is at the back of the shell. It actually means that a lot of the material is in the front of the shell, is in the front part of the shell, so it explodes out more in a wide cone. Which you can kind of get that sometimes in War Thunder. It's just most of the time that's not what you get. So while, yes, something like an 88 APHE would still do more damage than a 88 solid shot, it wouldn't be like nuclear, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be like an atomic bomb versus like the tall boy. Boy, it wouldn't be like that. Of course, there's also, it would explode, so you would still get a little bit of a blast of a shockwave from the detonation of the shell, which you would still have to worry about. It wouldn't be overpressure. Sure, it would sort of be like what you just saw in the kill cam up at the top left, where you saw that little overpressure, but it didn't go through the entire tank. It more just stayed within the main structure of that reed. That's what would more likely happen. That would be sort of what I would take.
The victory is near.
That's what it would kind of be. Okay, I'm gonna repair my barrel. Okay, let's move up. Now my question is, do we want to get up on here or do we not want to? You know what, let's get up. This is a down tier as evident by that tree. Oh, you gonna be able to take care of that thing over there? Actually, I couldn't get there if I wanted to.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
I thought that was on the other. Oh wait, no, it is. You gonna be able to? I don't know. Somebody's over there. Somebody's right down there. Thankfully, it's only like one person. Oh no, more people are getting over there. He's going over there with. Okay, let's go see what we can do over here. Okay, never mind. They all died. They were there 1 minute, gone the next. You know what? I'm just gonna go waltz around the board. You know what? I'm just gonna waltz on through. Move out my way, T-44, 188 ton. Oh, never mind. The frickin' train stopped there. Really? That little thing can stop this max. Sorry, T-44. Don't worry, I'll got your back. If you want to use me as mobile cover, I'd understand you. Get your butt over here, M47. I'm killing you. I know you're right there, buddy. Reverse, reverse, reverse. We can get him, we can get him. Wait, what? What? 310 millimeters! It's an M47! Not another mount. How? I killed that thing with the 75. How did he survive the 128? Come on, gaigin. Like, it's not even like it said shell shattered. It just said non-penetration. Come on, get your fat butt through here. You know what? I'm reversing. You know, I think we're gonna get stuck if I go through there. How long does it take to... Actually, that M47 somehow fucking survived a massive... An APHE somehow survived that, so... I guess I understand why Object 906 over there couldn't kill him. Did they build singularities into that thing's armor? I've never, a single day in my life playing the mouse, struggled to kill an M47 with this exact shell. Never. I've shot right through an M47's upper plate how many times with this shell? How does it, why did it do that then? Really?
Awesome.
Could have had 4 kills, but no, I got screwed over by that freaking M47. Thank you, gaigin. Alright, guess I found out what I'm gonna title the video. I was hoping to maybe title it something like the mouse is a monster, considering I've had games where I've basically been hounded where I've basically been playing a mouse and I've been hounded like this thing was the Bismarck, but I guess that just won't happen today. So I guess I'll title this thing Mouse Talk. So I guess this video will just be me talking about the mouse for like 15 minutes, which I'm happy. The mouse is my favorite tank. Hell, I've made a modernized version of it. Don't think it'd really work in real life, but it's so fun to think about. So goodbye.